All right, you guys, welcome back for another podcast. Every week we try to learn something new. I try to put out one video per week. If there's a chance that I can put out more, then I'll do so. But if the week calls for only one, then that's what we're going to do, right? But certain situations arise throughout the day, right? Throughout our daily lives that are going to change everything, are going to change our perspective on a lot of things. One of the things I want to talk about today is the workplace again, man. Why do you keep talking about the workplace, man? Why do you keep bringing up the workplace? Why? Because it's our daily lives. Our workplace is where we spend most of the time. Our workplace is where we spend more time with our co-workers, working with our co-workers, speaking, communicating, eyeing our co-workers than we do with our own families at home. Okay? And we don't realize that, until there's someone in our family that complains about it, right? Someone is going to say something about it. Someone's going to say, you know what, Dad, you're always at work. Or the worst one, the one you got to watch out for is when your girl tells you, you know what, Dad, or Daddy, no manches. I need a husband at home, right? Those are the ones that you have to watch out for, right? But unfortunately, a lot of us miss the signs and we go on and with our daily lives going to work every day, and we miss the point that we have a family at home. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to add a little bit to the previous video that I had where I was talking about the bosses, right? About how you're not supposed to let your tension from work get to your house. You know what I'm saying? I want to add a little bit to that. Okay. At work, everybody always has some sort of tension. Nobody's at work because they like it. Everybody's at work because we have to. We have a necessity to work. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, we don't want to be there. We do not want to be there. We want to be somewhere else. We want to be somewhere in a stress-free environment, but everybody knows that 98% of the world population it's just not happening for them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do what you got to do. You got to show up. Even for those people that have money, even for those people that have it made or whatever, what have you, we still have to show up every day. We still have to continue to keep going because money comes and goes. You got to work your ass off. You really do. You really do. Everything that you envision in the future, whatever life you want to have, it's not going to come free. And I've mentioned it before. Your affirmations only go so far. There needs to be some sort of action behind it, right? Like lately I've been reading a lot into, I guess it's quantum physics and quantum mechanics, right? And I've been studying a lot about photons and neurons and all that. And even science has proven that the universe is full of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how much energy there is everywhere you look. And a lot of that energy is produced when there is an action behind it. Actually, all energy is produced when there's an action behind it. Point A and point B. In order for those 2 points in the universe to have some sort of connection, there has to be some sort of energy between them, connecting them. And the only way that energy is going to go from A to B is if there's some sort of action, some sort of energy that is moving, these atoms and neutrons and photons, and there has to be some sort of connection. Otherwise, it's just there. It's potential energy. And we can add potential energy to our daily lives, you know? We can add potential energy to the things that we want to do, to the things that we want to accomplish, you know? Everybody doesn't want to just sit around and have things, you know, that are going to come to them and that's it. You know, you have to do something in order to get somewhere in life. Okay? You need to get up, move around, do something. You need to act on your ambitions, act on your likes, act on what you want your lifestyle to be. You want to drive a nice car? It's not going to magically appear in your driveway. It's not. You got to do something to deserve it. If someone is going to buy you a car, you have to do something that is deserving of that person putting a car in your driveway. There has to be some sort of potential, because nobody's going to do something for nothing, you know? You need to have some sort of a future for somebody to invest in you, okay? With that being said, let me talk about work, okay? Just like I started in the beginning of this video. We're not always going to click. It's all that energy that I just spoke about right now. It's not always going to just click. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just like a magnet. It depends on how you face it. If you don't face each other, or if you don't face each other in a certain way, you're not going to stick, man. Your thoughts are not going to stick. Your conversations are not going to stick. You're just not going to, you're not going to click. You can be complete opposites. And the more you try to get them to come together, the further apart they're going to become. They're going to fight each other. They're going to get your ass over there. Get over here, you know? It's just the way it is. And the bosses are a big reflection of the work crew, okay? The work crew are the workers that are there to get a certain task done. Work for a company, work for a team. If you're dumb, you're doing it for free. Everybody knows if you want to get somewhere in life and you have a service to offer, you're stupid if you don't make something out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. Your bosses are a reflection of what the company looks like. My company, you know, the company I work for Bay Cities Paving and Grading and Paving or something like that. It's Bay Cities, BC. Not trying to kiss ass or anything, man. Just saying, I got a hell of a boss, bro. I'm gonna send him a shout out. I'll send my boss a shout out. I'm going to be at that job regardless, because I know that I am needed on that job. You know what I'm saying? I know my value enough to know that I'm going to continue being there unless I fuck up or something or I leave, you know? But if I don't, then I'm just going to continue being there. I want to give a shout out to Joe Robinson, man. This, you know, when you hear of leaders, there are bosses, and then there's leaders. This guy is not a boss. He has what he has, the position that he has. He's a leader. If you can't get something done, he is the type of person that will show you how to get it done. And in turn, a lot of us on the job site have become like that. And we use that as an example. Don't take it personal. It's just business, he said one day. He said, we could be co-workers. We could be acquaintances. I can fire you, and I could still be your friend the next day. Don't take it to heart. Nothing's personal. It's just business. He said that. I think about that all the time. I do. And then you have the other bosses. Ungrateful motherfuckers, man. Don't matter what you do. You're just never gonna make them happy, man. It's just never gonna happen. Why keep trying? In my case, I don't do it for the bosses. I make my money with or without this job. I am one of those few people that, as frustrated as I get on the job site, I can honestly show up because I like what I do, man. It keeps my mind occupied. I have PTSD, severe anxiety disorder, borderline bipolar. They got me on Zoloft, on Adderall. It's a cocktail, right? But I wouldn't be needing a lot of that stuff if I just stopped paying attention to the people that are not in my circle, that are there to improve the circle. A lot of people are in your circle and you're never going to realize that they're the ones dragging you down, and a lot of times they might have a certain position. Don't do things for them. Do things for you. I care about my coworkers, man. My coworkers, I take my hard hat off. Damn it, motherfucker, I throw it. I flip them off. I wear a mask all day because I don't want to get burned. Debbie, you're the one that said that the suntan, right, from the sunglasses or whatever, right? So it is what it is. But I get angry, just like everybody else. I get mad. Last Friday, I walked out of the job, man. I didn't think I was coming back. I kept asking myself, is this worth it? Is this trouble worth it? I don't know, man. It's a lot of freaking stress. I'm not even getting paid for this stress. Yeah, I walked in today and grabbed a bunch of safety stuff and waters and what have you, after saying, you know what, screw this. But then I stop and I look around and I look at my coworkers, man, and as much as motherfuckers get on my nerves, that is on my work time. On my work time, they get on my nerves. They do. We want to fight sometimes. We want to duke it out. I've squared off with a couple people. And we've even gone to blows. I'm not going to say no. I almost ran a motherfucker over one day. But that's before I realized that there needs to be some sort of a balance in life. You need to balance your personal life and you need to balance your work life, and the same thing goes for your feelings. You need to balance the way you feel towards somebody at work, and you need to balance how you feel about somebody when you park your equipment and you sit down and you have whatever the wifey or the daughter or whatever lunch you bought on the way to work. I'm a firm believer, man, that the way someone feels when they make your lunch is how you're going to feel when you eat it. Let me reiterate on that. Hey, if you got your wifey all mad and she's making lunch, here's your fucking lunch, right? Get out of here. Coffee. On your way to work, you're going to take a sip of that coffee and be like, something's wrong, man. Just sit. You call her, hey, what the hell's going on with my coffee? Nothing. I made it the way I make it every day. Well, it tastes weird today. Well, it must be you, because it's the same coffee I make you every day. It's because your feelings, you're sour about something, so your fucking coffee is gonna taste more sour. Get it? Your food too. When you're angry, when you make your girl mad or your daughter mad, or someone cooks for you, your mom, you piss them off, but they still make you lunch, okay? You eat your lunch, and something's gonna be off. It's gonna taste weird. Something's gonna be like, damn. Or is this sandwich bad? Are the vegetables bad? Am I gonna get salmonella? Chorro? I'm gonna get the shits or what? The fuck? You know? It's because when they make you your freaking lunch, the energy that the body releases goes into the food, and then you absorb it later on when you're eating your lunch, drinking your coffee. I'm a firm believer in that. I swear to you. Try it and see how much it's going to change you. Okay? Now, your inner circle at work. Okay? You're not always going to agree on everything. You're not. Man, I don't want to go into name saying. So I'm just going to say that there is one specific guy on the job that everybody knows who he is. Right? Damn it, bro. He just doesn't get it. I spoke about him on my last podcast. Fucking Johnny boy, man. Pinche vato. He just doesn't get it. Oh, it pisses me off a lot. You know? But that's during work. Now, I've had good conversations with this guy before. I've had conversations where we talk about football, where we talk about baseball. I like the Cowboys. He likes the Rams. You know, I think we're both LA Dodger fans. I don't know. LA Dodger fans to the death, you know? But that's how it is at work, you know? You're not always going to get along with people at work. And you're not always going to get along with people in your personal life, you know? It's just the way life is. Sometimes you're just not going to click. You're going to be opposite equals. The magnets are going to be facing the wrong way, and you're not going to be looking at each other the way you want to. And the more you try to understand each other, the further apart you're going to push each other. That goes with marriages. That goes with everything. But the focus right now is on work. Okay? Don't let the shitbag in the group be the face of everyone. Now, I'm not saying anybody in my job is a shitbag. Everybody works in their own ways. Everybody gets the job done accordingly. You know? And you can take that for what it is, define it, research it, do some self-reflection. Everybody's different. I don't believe that there's bad work tactics, because ultimately you have a goal, and how you decide to do it, it's either going to be the right way or the wrong way. It's more than one way to skin a cat, like they say, right? Now, I also don't believe, because this ain't the military. I've been in the military, okay? Life is not the military. You are not as strong as your weakest link. You're not. In a society where survival of the fittest is at play, if there's someone weak, they get left behind. Whether you're trying to make it somewhere on time, whether you're trying to get somewhere to work, you know, whether you're trying to make it anywhere. If you're the weak link, bro, you're just going to get left behind. Mexicans, it's like, hey, we're going out as a family. All right, Everybody get ready. You got 1 hour. If someone gets ready in an hour and 15 minutes, okay, I'm ready. And they go outside in the living room and they find out that everybody's gone. Damn, dude. You just got left. You're the weakling, you know? It is what it is. But at work, it's not supposed to be to where you have to get somebody else's baggage and carry it on you if they can't carry their own. It's a group thing. Everybody needs to pick up the slack. And I hate it when you got that one person that's like, it's his fault. It's his fault. I'm gonna fucking compact her. If I fail compaction, I can't say, oh, it's because he's double dumping, or it's because he dumped in the wrong place. Dirt, right? He dumped dirt in the wrong place and I gotta compact it, right? Because they're gonna build a freaking highway or freeway, you know? I can't say he dumped in the wrong place. You can't blame anybody else. It's a group thing. Everybody needs to work together. For example, at the end of every workday, the scraper guys that I can't see eye to eye with at break time or during work, right before we go home, they wheel roll the whole freaking thing and they help me. Doesn't matter how pissed off we are at each other. It's a group thing. Get over it. You know? Don't let that bad link in the circle or in the chain define the strength of everybody else, of all the other links, of all the other chain links. A lot of times, they could be the first ones. They can be the boss. They're there because somebody trusted them more than they trusted you. If they appreciate you or not, so what? It's gonna pay the same. I do shit for free. Who cares, man? I do it for my guys. I do it for the people that I work with. I do it for Mr. J, James, Mike, Nick, Molina, Johnny. Do it for Pedro. You know, that's who I do it for. Now y'all don't know who they are, so fuck you. That's the only reason why I'm saying it. But you see what I'm saying? Unfortunately, we've had some people leave the company. They used to pick up a lot of that slack, and now they're not here. And guess what? Now someone else has to do it. And in this case, it's me. Now I'll be more than happy to do it. All right? Get over your differences. If the leader is a certain way, it doesn't mean that the rest of the body need to be the same way. You know? Hell, man, you cut the snake, the head off a snake and it still bites you. Shit. Body's still gonna be moving. You know? I'm not saying do that, right? But it is what it is. Get ahead in life. Appreciate the ones that are there to help you. And you don't have to appreciate the ones that don't help you. Or like I'm used to saying at work, fuck those motherfuckers, man. That's what I say at work. Honest to God, that's what I say at work. And I go like this. Those motherfuckers. Right? But it doesn't mean I'm gonna put my responsibilities aside. Let's all learn from each other. Learn to something. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate the ones that like and share my videos. You know, you guys have a good one. Shout out, Miss Pat, Joe Robinson. You guys have a good one, man. Peace out.